final guest is the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube WyzGyz. How you doing, comrade? Welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome to WyzGyzEntertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We're joined today by special guest, Rick Piper, Cross Comics. How's it going, man?
It's going great.
Good to have you.
Great to be here.
So, welcome. This is your first time on the show, I think.
I think I might have been on before. I could be wrong.
I think,
but this is definitely the first time on to promote my book.
yeah. Sometimes we hang out with our mutual buddy Dillard.
Yeah.
On like drawing streams.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
For sure.
So whenever I have someone new on the show, I like to get some background, the creator's origin story, as they say. So I'd love to know more about you, like growing up. What were you into, whether it be cartoons, toys, movies, and then in addition to that, what were the major milestones in your life that led you to becoming an independent creator?
Well, growing up, I got into, Super Friends and, all the cartoon, all superhero cartoons plus a few others, major thing for me, milestone, is becoming a Christian. That was at a young age, and then my mom got me to go to a Christian camp, and there she bought me some Christian Archies, which then ended up getting me to start reading comic books. Regular Archies, and then found out Archie had superheroes. I'm not sure whether DC had started did their line for them at that point, Impact, or whether it was the Superman breaking, not breaking his back up, but Superman dying and coming back. I started reading it, not so much his death, but I started getting on reading comics, going to the comic book shop probably every week or every couple weeks. When Superman died, or just after he died, back in the 90s.
Oh, by Doomsday?
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha.
So, I got Funeral for a Friend, Reign of the Superman, and then, saw Batman had his back broken. So I started collecting that stuff at the time. And then, Robin, because Robin went out on his own, the Tim Drake Robin. So I started, that was a milestone, going to the comic book store every week or every couple weeks, and getting comic books. And so somewhere in there it sparked, I wanted to create I noticed, there was no Christian superhero comic books, so I figured, okay, I'm going to make them. And I started, making, pathetic stuff or whatever, I've still got a little bit of the paperwork for that. But through reading comics and watching the TV shows and all that, I began to learn, began to put stuff together, and I had never, like, I guess in, wanting to do my own, create my own. I never really wanted to work for DC or Marvel, because you know I started, developing, bits of my characters. Uh, um, not super well, not super in depth. Then I re-met a friend from my early grade school, and I tried to get him into it. But he got me to start getting more organized in things. So, because everything was just all over the place for me, chaotic.
Oh, like
Yeah.
just random notes all over the place and little sketches here and there.
Yeah. But then he got me to, get a little bit more organized, and, with getting more organized, it started coming together more and more. Um, Started writing scripts, like I've had like probably about 30 scripts that I've had written for like 20 years, maybe 30
Wow. Oh my God.
years. And unfortunately I've been on again, off again, and um then I think, you know, with doing it, because I knew it was something that I wanted to do and all that, but money and not the best artist. I don't practice as much as I should. And I never took the anatomy classes or read through that. Unfor- uh but um then Comicsgate sort of hit, and I thought, okay, I can do a YouTube channel. People are crowdfunding. Ooh, this is I can actually, maybe get this out, you know, maybe it'll be something that people will be interested in. Well, I was hoping way before that people will be interested, you know. And I did my first well, I've done a few crowdfundings. My first one ever before, probably just before CG,
Uh-huh.
or that I knew about CG anyways. Um, I had a basic old version of the book, and well, not the best at all, I'll admit. I had signed up to go to a few Comic Cons, like
Oh.
one in Rochester, and I did. I had paid the money to get there, but I didn't really have like I paid the money to go to for my table at the con, but I didn't have any. I had some basic fan art, if you will. I had a digital version of it at the time, not physical.
Oh,
So
wow.
so I needed some money to get down there and back, and maybe print up a few copies of the version I had at the time. To try and sell. Um, that was a Kickstarter, and that was before we some people thought they were the enemy, or I'm not sure
Oh,
how you want to
right.
put it.
Right, right.
Um, and it was before I even knew about Indiegogo being a thing, if they
Okay.
were a thing. But that campaign failed miserably. I think I was asking for too much in my books. That campaign. I look back at it a couple years later when I was actually doing my first Indiegogo, and or just before I was about to, and it's like what I had on there, the pricing. It was crazy. I was, I had no idea what I was doing. I barely have an idea what I'm doing now, but but I had tried the crowdfunding at that point, but a couple years, you know, um, advance a couple years, getting into the CG, I decided to uh, redo the book, redo the art and all that completely. And I did that on my YouTube channel live. Everybody could see me going through it. And then John Diller, well, I was friends with John Diller before this. He decided to beef up my pencils and inks a bit, which I'm very much glad for. And yeah, crowdfunded the first book. So I guess that's a milestone too, and I got 2000 over 2000 US on that campaign.
Whoa. Oh, dang. Nice.
Um and well, now I'm in the middle of Well, I'd say my second campaign, I did have a couple snafus on that first one. That was just more getting the money from Indiegogo
Oh, really?
because I had decided to rate George Gatzis. He advised me to raise it in American funds, and
Yeah.
I think because he had, and it seemed logical. A lot of the people buying from me were in the states and all that. Were probably
Okay.
going to be in the states. Um, but for some reason, they had just recently. I think they had just recently changed the way they did stuff. So trying to get into my put the money into my Canadian bank account, there was it didn't go for some stupid reason.
Huh.
But John Dillard, being the good friend that he is, got them to put it in his bank account, and then he just sent, PayPal the money to me.
Oh,
You
damn.
know,
All right.
so I was able to do it, and then I did a quick campaign for a coloring book to see whether in Canadian funds
All right.
to see whether if I do it in Canadian funds, whether I'll actually get the money because
Oh.
with the way things went on that first campaign, I was not really happy with Indiegogo
Uh-huh.
because it's very hard to get a phone number to call them. I never
Really?
did any, never did, you know, um, and the idiots in the their help people weren't very helpful.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
But
Yeah, I mean, if you got a campaign, you'd hope to get good support and
yeah,
assistance whenever you need it.
yeah. Well, this was more for the money, like no, because nobody could figure out why it wasn't going through, and my bank's not going to talk to them about my account,
Right.
even if I'm there giving permission.
Huh. So, rewinding a little bit, did you say that you had booked 3 rented tables at 3 different conventions
Yeah,
before
three.
you even had any physical books?
Yeah,
What? Oh dear. Because the thing that a lot of people don't realize when about exhibiting at a convention is that there are all these different costs to keep in mind. You've
yeah,
got the cost of the rental of the table
yeah,
space, and then you've got transportation and however you're going to ship all your product there, if you assuming you have product.
yeah.
And like, are you going to get to the convention by car? Are you going to fly? Are you going to have? Are you going to
Or
ship
some.
the stuff, the product to yourself? Or are you going to have it delivered? Or yeah,
Yeah,
so many considerations and
yeah.
so
I
many.
had I had been to one con before them, a little bit further away.
Uh
I went to there was a Christian Comic Con in LA called Alpha Omega Con, and
huh.
the table was like $70.
All right.
So that was pretty cheap. So I decided to go to it. I paid my table, and this again is before I had physical product. I was just gonna do drawings, sell those, and
Oh,
you
all
know,
right.
but I had a version of the book to sell for digital.
Uh huh.
Like I said, it wasn't as good as the one that I sold on my Indiegogo campaign,
All right.
but I was selling that as digital. Um, so I went
So
there. Go ahead.
how did you do that? Did you like pass out business cards that had a link to your website where you could order the digital copy, or did people sign up on a mailing list and then
Well,
you?
I was selling it for like $2 or $3. I forget what I was selling it for. At the table. So basically, and I had an internet connection. So if they bought it, I would like send them the link to where they could get it. Like they give me their email, and I just send them the link, something to that effect, because I have, even then I had my own website.
Oh wow! All right, that's impressive.
Because I knew it was important to have a website, and I decided to. I knew somebody from church that was able to help me do that, and I had learned to work with them in their web creation business for a bit, so I knew a bit of the how to do the behind the scenes stuff myself.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So I do all my own web work at this moment. I do practically everything myself at this.
Oh,
Well,
right on.
well, I'm actually starting to pay artists and all that to do stuff. Like for Snowdrift #1, paid Dillard to do the pencils and the inks. I paid somebody for Canadian Shield too to do the pencils and the inks. I'm coloring them myself though,
Okay.
which is a process in and of itself. Learning a lot through that. Um, but yeah, so I went down there, without really any product,
Uh-huh.
just figuring things out. But like you said, I figured, I had this, when I had signed up for, bought the table for these few Comic Cons, I thought I was going to have the money for transportation down when I got them. But some things in my life, by the time the tables came to go there, things had fallen through money wise.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that's why I had decided to try and crowdfund. But
Oh,
like I
all
said,
right.
it didn't go well. But so it was like, yeah, oh well.
Just keep trying, right?
Yeah. And then, like I said, a couple years later, or not so much years later, or maybe 6 months or something, found out about, well, I think I found out about, like Ethan and then CG and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, okay, so build up a network before I crowdfund a book again. Get people knowing about me.
It definitely helps. It definitely helps. You get more eyeballs on your stuff because they they dig your content, and then you can kind of start telling people, hey, I got this project I'm working on,
Yeah,
and like you do with your streams, what your drawing and coloring streams, it's another form of networking and sharing your passion with
yeah.
people. Uh, Going back to some of the stuff you were reading when you were younger, um, I was curious what your thoughts were on the death of Superman. Do you think they handled it well? Did you like it? Did you like how the story resulted in all these, like, four different Supermen, I think?
Yeah, well, I would definitely say I like it because um, I'm actually probably at some point going to do something similar, but probably combine more it's not so much the person actually dies. I'm probably going to do more something like what Spider-Man did. He just, because of whatever reason, the person lays down that aspect, and then there's going to be like, 3 or 4 people to try and take the place of the character that I'm going to do that with.
Okay, so you're kind of leaning more in a Spider-Verse sort of direction?
Well, like I said, I guess it's not so much Spider-Verse because it's not going to be um different versions of Peter Parker from alternate universes.
Okay,
It's just going to be other people in his life or whatever that try and take up the mantle of the character. You know,
oh, all right.
you know, like just like those 4 people did when Superman died, trying to take up his mantle. But my character's not going to die. He's just going to, for personal reasons, say no more.
Gotcha.
The character is no more. And then people are going to arise to try and take his place because of the absence
Gotcha.
of the, sort of combining the death of Superman with the Spider-Man No More type thing when he, gave up the costume for a
Yeah.
while for a couple reasons, personal reasons or whatever. Well, we know we see it in the movies, but they took that from the comics too.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, I mean, when the whole thing was going on when I was growing up, I saw it as a gimmick, the death of
Yeah.
Superman, and
Oh, of course it was.
yeah, and it was like on one hand I was like eye rolling, but on the other hand, they were trying to get renewed interest, and nothing draws people's interest more than an established superhero supposedly dying.
Well,
And
especially back then, it was something, like I think the only major character to have died before then, it was Jason Todd Robin.
all right,
Hey,
yeah,
and he hadn't come back.
yeah,
You know,
there's some.
I and I remember thinking too back then, oh, they're killing off Superman. Ah, maybe I could get him, not thinking that they're gonna bring him back.
Oh, you mean in terms of like public domain?
I guess so. Like, well, I'm like a kid, early teen, so I'm thinking, maybe I can buy. They're gonna
Oh,
not use him anymore, and then I can buy him in a couple years.
uh, oh man, that would be a trip. Yeah,
but like I said, I was a bit naive on how
uh,
things work in that sense
yeah. So
because I didn't even know about public domain back then.
yeah, I don't think I did either. Um, yeah, so despite it being a gimmick, I thought it was. I found it kind of fascinating how they did it, and they released the book in all black cover, black plastic packaging, and it
Yeah,
included a black armband to try and
yeah,
get you to help bring you into the story, which I thought was interesting. All these
yeah,
extra mini gimmicks, if you will,
yeah.
and of course multiple covers and whatnot. But those added features kind of made it feel special, in a sense.
Yeah, yeah,
And then with Batman, his back getting broken, that was kind of wild.
yeah, yeah,
But what I don't know, what I kind of didn't care for was how Doomsday was one of those characters who kind of came out of the blue and virtually uh, undefeatable
yeah.
and just trashed the Superman to no end. And
Well,
similar to what Bane did to Batman.
yeah. Well, I think they had to bring some character out of nowhere that we had never seen because we had seen, him go up against all his other characters so many times. And, what are the chances that who would believe that, Lex Luthor at that point could actually kill Superman
Right.
or, or Metallo or Solomon Grundy, or
Right.
Brainiac, nobody would actually believe that they could actually kill Superman. I think so. At that point, they would have to bring a character that nobody knows nothing about, and that
Yeah.
is extremely powerful. More as powerful as Superman. And as we learned over time, technically, Doomsday is technically Kryptonian as well. So, to defeat a Kryptonian, you need a Kryptonian, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was just looking at it at surface level, like, oh, here's
It,
this giant big thug that just pummels you into the ground. And initially, it kind of felt like kind of cheap, but
yeah.
I see your point though. And then with Bane and Batman, that was
Yeah.
kind
I,
of
I,
the
and
same
that's
idea.
thinking about it right now through, past eyes, like at the time, I didn't even have the thoughts you had. It's just, I was just, oh, Superman's dead. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that was wild. I didn't. And what was funny is when the welcome LDG, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Well, there he is. Um, what what was funny is I didn't like any of the Superman that came out as a result.
Yeah.
Any of the four, Steel, that young Superboy looking character,
Yeah. Well,
the
then,
one
then
that looked
there,
like Terminator,
yeah, the
and
Eradicator, and then, of course, Cyborg Superman, who
yeah,
was
I
a bad
forgot.
guy.
There were four of them total, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Basically, Steel, Superboy, Eradicator, and Cyborg Superman, or who
which
they all
one?
became.
Oh, Eradicator had the mullet, right? And he had an all black uniform.
Um, no, that was Superman when he actually came back from
Oh,
the dead.
which one was Eradicator? What did he look like?
Um, oh, I'm trying to. He had blue on the side, red in the middle. Superman thing. He had a
Oh,
yellow visor,
okay. Yeah,
and he had the cape.
I didn't like the looks of them. Basically,
And of course,
uh,
Steel had the all.
yeah,
Steel was basically, an Iron Man version of a Superman.
yeah, exactly. Sorry, I was my little webcam fell.
Yeah.
I have it attached with Velcro, um,
Ah.
so it comes off every now and then off the top of my monitor. So you got this campaign going on. This is what you're calling like your second campaign, is that right?
Yeah. Technically, in between my first Indiegogo campaign and this one, I did have a coloring book one that I had. That was to basically just see. It was a simple project. I even got a bunch of creators to put in drawings for it to see whether, just so it wouldn't be all me. Um, just to see whether I could get the money in Canadian funds if I was raising in Canadian funds, and I did, no
Right.
problem. So
Nice, nice. So, because I thought the only difference was that was the uh, I always thought it was just a matter of how it's displayed. I didn't realize that behind the scenes there would be so many issues getting your money from Indiegogo.
yeah, I guess putting American money in a Canadian bank digitally, there's more to it than what you would think.
Oh, okay, all right,
I don't know either. Like if I went to, like my bank with $20 American and said I want to put this in, they put it in, fairly no problem, as far as they do the whole exchange thing and just put it in for me. And, instead of $20, I'd have 30,
right,
Canadian or 25, whatever, you know.
gotcha, yeah.
They would just convert it as they put it in. But, God forbid that, anything is ever easy.
So you've got in this campaign, the Canadian Shield #2 and more. So
Yes.
by the and more, are you referring to Snowdrift?
Yes, I am. And
Okay.
I was trying to figure out a campaign name or title. You know, a lot more people know of my character Canadian Shield than they know Snowdrift. Do it. So I went through a few different possibilities, and I just thought, this sounds good. I'm gonna have that same problem on my third campaign, or because of my third campaign, I'm adding yet another character, another book.
Oh, okay. So is your ultimate plan to have your flagship character Canadian Shield, and then in every subsequent book you're gonna keep adding a new edition, a new
A new book. Well, up to
a new hero?
7 books. I've got 7 major characters, 7 flagship characters, as you might say. Uh, you know, uh, there's something I took from sort of DC too. When they did the Impact line with the Archie superheroes, they brought them out one after another the next month. Like they started with the Legend of the Shield, and the next month they had Legend of the Shield 2, and they added the Comet. And the third month they had, Legend of the Shield 3, Comet 2, and another one till they had their 5 or 6 books, whatever number it was at the time out. And I thought that was a cool idea on how to do it. Bring
Okay.
out, expand your universe, especially for uh, a rising company. And I'm about my, a lot of the creators out there, the indie creators, they're about their 1 or 2 books, maybe. I'm about my whole universe
Wow.
because that I've been creating a comic universe, not just a comic book.
Yeah, I remember when was first introduced to you and started seeing your streams. I I I was kind of marveling at the fact that you had so many characters.
Yeah, and
And
there's a bunch up on my website that you can see a lot of the pics of, and I've got tons more beyond them that.
oh wow, okay. So how long? I mean, how do you come up with Canadian Shield?
Um, well, I took the name. It's a here. Well, in the real world, it is a geographical lo- location or piece of you know area called. There's a geographical location, or I'm not sure how to put it. It's a landmass called the Canadian Shield. Starts in northern. Well, it depends on which way you want to go for. Starts in northern Canada and goes all the way down, even to a little bit into the states.
All right.
So I thought that was a great name for a character, and the original look was not like this. The original look was it was going to be a big biker type guy, not 8 foot tall, but big like belly and all that. And he was just going to be traveling across Canada, fighting injustice somehow. I don't know. I had a
Okay.
I had a basic look. I had a basic idea, and then somewhere at some point, I decided, no, let's redo this. And this is what I came up with. I don't even remember where and how I came up with it. I just know at some point it changed.
And then this happened. so so is
And I can't even remember why I changed it.
so he was originally the type of character that you might liken to, say, a Batman, who is, he spends a lot of time working out and stuff and
Oh no,
being.
this guy. Well, maybe he works out or whatever. Would have been. I'm not even sure whether Batman asked. Like I said, he was like a big biker type guy. Like fat biker.
Oh, okay, all right.
And he and I don't know whether he would have had any powers or not. I hadn't got that far. I don't know that, but he was just going to be traveling the countryside fighting injustice, of
Yeah,
some sort.
th-
Like the character didn't get developed like you know he is here.
yeah. Where I was eventually going to make a
So
long story long, was by Batman-esque. I was referring to how he was like focused on the clearing crime in his own local city
mm,
versus fighting supervillains with special powers and stuff.
yeah,
The,
okay, yeah,
uh, where you've got like a Superman who's constantly fighting dangers that come from other planets.
yeah.
So, would you consider is Canadian Shield technically a superhero in the sense that he's got powers now?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the suit is what gives him his powers. Like
Oh,
he is a Native American from the early 1800s, transported through time to present modern day, depending how you want to word it. Um, Now he's from the area I am back in the 1800s, but not to give him culture shock, I transport him way up into northern Ontario, in the middle of nowhere. There's only forest around. The nearest town is like 100 miles away,
ah, oh
and
no,
the suit that he wears is from the future. Um,
okay.
Sometime in the future, the Canadian government has created this suit, and God, as it's basically finished, complete, ready to work 100%, takes it and brings it back through time to modern day, present day, and he
Hmm.
takes his suit basically right to where the Canadian Shield is, or Man Like Cougar as he's known at that point, and an angel appears and basically tells him, "Put on the suit, travel south."
Okay.
And he starts to learn that the suit gives him incredible powers and abilities. Like
Nice.
flight, super strength, super durability. You know, um, he will eventually. I don't think he really learns that he's got like supervision and all that, like telescopic type vision in the first issue, but eventually he's somehow going to learn that. Like super smell. You know, the suit enhances all like the senses. Not that I'm
Funny.
sure how you can enhance some of them. Like touch or you taste, especially when you're not eating with it. I'm thinking maybe somehow he can taste the air with it,
Oh,
and taste, like just like you would smell roses in the air,
uh-huh, uh-huh.
maybe you can taste the fragrance or whatever
Well,
in the air.
maybe.
Not
Yeah.
that you'd want to, like bite down on a rose and eat it, but you get my.
Right, right. I mean, I think there are wild animals that are out there that can do that. So you've got Canadian Shield and Snowdrift.
Yeah.
So I guess Snowdrift is another one of your flagship characters,
Yes.
and the idea is you're going to have on every campaign two separate books.
Well, the next campaign will be 3, and then
Oh,
4, and then 5, and 6,
oh,
and 7,
oh.
till I get my 7 flagship characters out.
So it's like this
Well,
is Canadian Shield number 2 and plus Snowdrift issue 1,
yeah,
and then the next one will be Canadian Shield 3, Snowdrift 2, issue 2, and then the third character issue 1.
yeah, the Flame number 1.
Oh, that's kind of cool. And
And of course, I make sure nobody has to buy what they don't want. You can either you're going to be able to buy either just one issue of one of them, or two issues of two of them, or all three or four or whatever.
Okay.
I'm figuring out the logistics of that as I go along, and I think I know how to do it. You know, you know, it's going to be crazy, and there might be more tiers, perks, whatever. It's going to mean a few more tiers of perks.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, that was weird.
But it's just enough to. But I don't want anybody, set to have to buy all three, or all four or all seven. I want them to be able to buy what they want, spend, whatever money it is for one or two or three or whatever, and then again, I'm hoping also too before I can get to seven that I've got enough of a backing, that maybe I can go from doing these Indiegogo campaigns to just selling off my website.
Right.
Because this is meant to help you start whatever company or whatever. I don't think it's a model for all times.
Right. Makes sense. And if you, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm not sure what I was going to say exactly, so go on.
Yeah, so I was just going to add that, once you start carrying back copies on your website, you can then post your website if you haven't already, to Michael Bancroft's cgnow.net, and that gives you a host of websites where you can, immediately jump into CG books and pick up back issues whenever you want.
Yeah,
So
I guess I'll have to do that. Well, although I've got to get some new number ones soon. Actually, I'm going to be I've actually I'm in the process of remastering number one. It was all right for the colors, but I'm wanting to do something a little different, tweak some of the art, make it a little better, and all that. So I'm in the middle of doing that too. But I think that might either be a campaign unto itself, or just I'll put out the money to do it to
Gotcha.
print it up. I don't know exactly yet.
All right. So checking out the campaign, yeah. Back and ready. Hey all. So it's been a while for this campaign to get here, but it will have been worth the wait. So first up, we have the Canadian Shield number 2 with artist on it, Ephraim A. Crespo.
Ephraim A. Crespo.
With me, Rick Piper, as colorist. So is colors like your passion? Is that what you're most into right now?
I'd say no.
Oh.
I decided to get better artists. I'm all right. I can probably make do myself in a pinch. But I wanted to up the game. On this. So I got a couple new art. Well, not new, like Dillard, and well, I'm not sure whether either of them's new as an artist, but new for Cross Comics.
Uh-huh.
And Dillard's not so new, but I got him basically just to do. Dillard's doing Snowdrift, but I got a new artist completely on this. Unfortunately, he will not be around for the next issue. He's a bit slow. He was having a whole bunch of medical problems. In fact, so he basically took 2 years to do 23 pages, 22 pages.
Ouch.
Or a year and a half, something like that. But it was a long time, needless. And I'm like, that was a pain. So I didn't, between him and Dillard, I didn't really have much money for a colorist. So I had started learning how to do some digital coloring on my own from my just doing my regular shows that I had done. So I figured, okay, let's give this a try, and I think I've done pretty good. Probably nowhere near, DC or Marvel quality of a colorist, but I think if you go down a bit, see the pages, I think they look pretty good. Um,
So what's this part about? You'll get to see the Canadian Shield fighting. Yes, they're still walking, but not near.
well,
What?
Yeah. Well, that goes back to my first issue. You did not see him really fighting a lot. It was an origin issue. Him finding out about the book, or about getting transported through time, the suit, telling what the suit does, him learning what the suit does. So it wasn't very action oriented. You
All
know,
right.
you've seen the Canadian Shield walking a lot, or that was a joke while I was doing it a
Okay.
lot. So that was, to a nod to all the teasing and all that about the first issue.
Okay. Now, this these pages, these are with, I presume, with all the lettering hidden.
I haven't put the lettering on them yet, but yeah, no lettering yet.
All right.
Although I do know basically what they're going to say. I've written the script and all that. So,
Gotcha.
as I was saying earlier.
And then, so you said that Dillard's doing Snowdrift?
Yeah, well, I did this cover myself.
Okay.
The cover's not him. Um, but another one of my fans did a cover that we have as a fan art uh,
Okay.
alternate cover that people can pick up if they want as an add-on.
So
But
you,
we do show that down further. But
all right. So
I
you,
show the main cover first.
and so you did the this cover of Snowdrift, and then
Yeah,
Dillard does the interiors, and then you
yeah,
have another artist doing the guest or the fan art
alternate.
cover.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, in your I don't know what the formal term is for this thing in the top left corner. Uh, is there supposed to be something in this triangle at the bottom?
Yeah, that's if it was in a store, where the price would go. You know,
Oh, all right. That makes perfect sense. I don't know why it didn't dawn on me. All right, very good.
it's
Although,
just it's just
Mhm.
that I'm not naturally putting them out in comic book stores, printing them with that on them at the
Right.
moment. So it's just I had made that design up a few years, quite a few years ago. I liked it, so I'm sticking with it. It's just the one area is blank at the moment till I'm getting these in whatchamacallits on a regular basis. Comic book stores or regular stores.
Have you been getting some of your issues to local comic shops, or is that in the
Uh,
future?
that's in the future. I did try a little bit. I called up or emailed a few of them in the area, and they had reasons not to.
All right. I remember you
Uh,
work. I remember seeing you work on these on streams. A couple of these pages.
yeah, yeah, those ones I did for sure, or mostly, anyways. And this is, of course, her waking up after 70 years, or being revived after 70 years,
Ah,
because she was frozen in ice for like 70 years.
wow. what we need and what you get. This is simple, folks. We need money to print these books, and what you get is get these books in your wonderful hands, and maybe some other stuff if you want from the perks. Add-ons.
Yeah.
A few different add-ons that weren't around for the first campaign. That we have the Canadian Shield #1 with both covers.
Yeah, I've got to put those back up as add-ons. I was having some conventions to go to, so I took them down. So I, I made, know what I'd actually have. Some people did get it, so I've put theirs aside that got them. But now that they're available.
So the first cover is your work, and then the second is Dillard,
John,
I guess.
yeah, I think you can tell the difference between mine and John's.
Yeah, yours is much better.
What?
And then here's Elric Yuga.
Yeah, Elric Hayuga.
All right, Cross Comics.
Yeah.
That's cool that you made like a fan art version.
Yeah. Well, he really, really wanted to do it. So he did all the pencils and the inks. I tweaked it a bit, just there was a few things that needed tweaking. And then I did the coloring for it.
And I was wondering, on her costume, is that intentionally meant to be the logo for female?
No.
Because
I didn't even think about that. I just wanted to do
a cross.
a cross and
Like
a collar, a yellow collar. I never even thought of that.
Because that's the first thing that pops into my head.
It's amazing what everybody sees, how
Yeah.
people sees different. Because I know with one of the with my original look for the Canadian Shield lettering, people see a Neo Heil, especially the online. But when I have it in person, nobody ever, mentions that. They're like Canadian Shield right off, when they see the.
Oh, you got keychains.
Yeah.
The Canadian Shield, Snowdrift, Cross Comics. So is this like using like burning it in?
No, I have a friend Mallet. He has some sort of maybe he burns it in. I'm not sure. But he has some. But I think it or burns it out. I'm not sure how the machine does it. He has like a CNC type machine that does the work and all that. So he did that for me. You know. Unfortunately, nobody's bought them on either
What?
here or thing.
So they're made of wood, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like
Are they pretty sturdy?
yeah.
Because I'd be worried about them snapping. But hey, welcome memes.
Like
Hey guys, what's going on? All right, hold on. Let me bring you up here.
Here's like a like the ones that are going out for the mail, they only have it on the one side, but these were the prototypes.
Okay.
For there's Cross Comics,
Canadian Shield.
Canadian Shield, and I'm not sure where Snowdrift is at the moment, but
Yeah, because oddly enough, I have a keychain with a bunch of those little tags that identify what they're for, what key is for what purpose, so that in case you forget. But they're on my keychain, and I constantly carry them in my pockets, and those labels are in these like hard plastic labels, but even those things snap. from being in my pocket all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, but these
So,
are, as you can see, they're pretty thick.
yeah.
Well, I think the other ones are slightly thinner, but still they're. Uh, uh, where is it? Right there. There's the box. I have everything packed away in a suitcase that I use to go to cons with.
Do you have another con coming up soon?
Not soon. I just had one last weekend, a small one here in Hamilton. Okay, let's see. Maybe they're about the same thickness.
Okay.
There's the snowdrift one.
All
And
right.
unfortunately, nothing on the back. Although, if somebody won it, I could technically sign it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So on the other ones, was it the same name on both sides? Is that what you were
Yeah, yeah.
doing?
Well, these were the prototypes. I don't know why Mallet didn't do it on both sides for these, for
Oh,
the new ones. Like I just, or I was hoping it would do good at cons and whatever. Maybe it will in the future, but I just figured I'd order, like, I ordered 20 of each.
okay.
So, but they haven't sold yet, but eventually they will.
Yep. So let's see here. Now we've got stretch goals at 1,000 Canadian Shield stickers.
Yeah, which
Unlocked. 1,500
uh,
Snowdrift stickers unlocked.
and that's Canadian money. So there,
Oh, right, okay.
and there's the Canadian Shield one.
And then you're going at 2,000 the button for Canadian Shield, 2,500 Snowdrift button, 3,000 to be announced. All right. So you're working to expand Cross Comics to an even bigger place than it is with the two characters out there. With books, the more you make, the more it'll help in campaigns to come, as it'll help the next campaign to get out sooner and bring forth even more characters from your universe.
Yes.
And
And high memes of destruction.
indeed. So you did a $500 flexible goal.
Yes.
So would 500 really be sufficient to complete, cover the talent and get the book made?
Oh, cover my costs of what it costs to pay the people to draw it up. No, that doesn't cover that.
Oh,
But I was just more thinking the printing. I've already put out that money. If I make it back, fine. If I don't,
okay.
fine. And the money is just how big of a print run I do. If I only made the 500, I do a smaller print run. You
Oh,
know,
okay. All right.
if I make if I make $100,000, I do a bigger print run than I do if I you know only made 500.
Right. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, there are printers that have a minimum print run, right? Before
Yeah.
they'll do the plates and stuff.
Yeah, but
So-
I did mix them last time, and I think you can do a single copy.
oh, wow. Really?
Okay, I think
Oh,
I'm not 100% sure. But I'm probably gonna go with somebody else this time. Not that I wasn't satisfied with them. Dillard went through 3D Zach,
oh,
uh,
yeah. 3D Zen.
and it seems like going through him might be a little cheaper.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard
But
good things.
and the books are supposed to be just as good. So you know,
Wow. All right. Yeah, I've heard good things about 3D Zach. Let's see. As always, other ways you can help. As always, if you can afford to buy, you believe in this project, you can get the word out there about this project. And
Oh, I guess I meant if you can't afford to buy and you
oh,
believe in this project. My grammar's atrocious.
okay. you need an
I,
editor. You need an editor, man.
yeah, I need to re-look over these things. I think I look over them and they look fine, and then it's like no,
Yeah,
somewhere like here.
it's one of those things where I think people are so deep into their own project that things start getting easier to miss.
Yeah.
Um, so let's check out these tiers. See what we got going on. I am getting them. I'm getting them signed. That's the title of that's a heading of your tier. I am getting them signed.
I know, pretty plain and simple. In other words, you're getting both books and you're getting them both signed.
Yeah, but usually you have some kind of name for the.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with some fancy names. I think, as you know, and I know you don't, not too big on it, or not big at all. I got this over on Kickstarter, and I actually was able to come up with something a little bit more creative for some of these over there. By that time, my first campaign, they were a little bit more thing, but I thought, okay, they're a bit not corny or whatever. I'm not sure what the right word is. Bad plays or whatever on the
Puns.
first ones or whatever. So I wanted to do something different, and I couldn't think of anything good. Hopefully, I'll be able to.
Oh, you mean you had like puns or dad jokes or
Yeah,
that kind of stuff?
well, I think one was double dealing. To get
Oh,
two.
okay. Right. Yeah, I mean that's the sort of stuff I'm used to. um, and usually, um, the Indiegogo has an area down here where you can put.
Well,
You're
if
limited.
you just click that, there'll be a description.
Okay, because I thought it was supposed to also display even before you click on it. If
I
you
don't
click
think
on
so.
if you
Just
click on it, then you've got this. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
yeah, it says people are
Um,
getting this perk.
yeah,
Get both blah blah blah. And then if you
yeah,
scroll down, there's the button to.
signed. Yeah. Um, but I thought that even before you click on it, you had some space to put a description and additional information. But uh, how many pages are each of these books?
Um, Canadian Shield is 22, and Snowdrift is 24.
Okay, all right, and that's solid story content.
Yeah,
No ads.
yeah. Well, the ads are on the back. Well, with Canadian Shield being 22, there will be a couple of pages of ads because I got two extra. You got to print in fours,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna put something on them. I'm paying for that being paper. I ain't leaving them blank.
yeah, true. So you get. I like campaigns that have a featured tier because it's kind of a quickie way of notifying people. Hey, here's what you want to get. This gives you a good feel of what my project is. It doesn't have to be the most expensive tier. It doesn't have to be the cheapest tier. Oftentimes, it's somewhere in the middle, and you usually get a couple items or more,
Yeah,
uh, like a little variety of swag in the book itself, of course.
yeah.
So that's cool. The next one is the digital customer's choice.
Yeah, so basically this one you can choose either if you want the Canadian Shield 2 or Snowdrift. You don't have to get both books digitally. You can choose, you know. And it's $2 US, so it's like
Alright,
really good price to get in, for one of the two of the books.
for sure. And then we got
Uh,
digital
digital
too.
twos, which you basically get both books,
Okay, all right.
digitally. And then, of course, this is like the
Customers.
digital customer's choice, but physical.
All right.
So again, you get to, choose. And I figure you always got to give your uh, customers the choice. And this is, of course, similar, except the books are signed here.
All right, cool.
Because that, again, I think it should be a person's choice if they want it signed or not signed.
Yeah, some people for display reasons uh they want all the artwork to shine, so they prefer to have the signature inside the
Yeah,
cover
yeah,
or no signature at all. But then
yeah,
there are other people, other collectors who want the signature showing, even if it's like bagged and boarded or in
yeah.
a graded case.
Yeah, so I'm all about giving people choice for what they want. They're the customer, you know. You
Yeah,
give them you give them the options, and of course,
I
this
am
is
getting them both.
yeah. Instead of getting them both signed, you know,
Okay, all right.
these is basic getting them both unsigned,
Okay, gotcha.
and then of course the most famous tier, the
The
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo.
Basically, you get both two of Canadian Shield 2, two of Snowdrift, all four signed
Oh, all right, nice.
for,
Uh,
$44 plus shipping.
I might be missing something, but is Lorenzo like a reference to something?
Do you know who Lorenzo Sleestack is?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
He a lot of times he asks people, "Can I get two of? Can I get two of?"
Oh, all right.
There's two of this. So
That's right. All right.
on my first campaign, he asked for this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a tier. What am I gonna call it? You know? And I thought, okay, he's always asking for this. Let's just name the tier after him. And I figured instead of just making it a special tier that only he could get,
There you go. And the one that claimed it might be Lorenzo himself.
actually that one isn't. I ended up having to make it special tier where I had it something on for him, a single copy of it. I think that was the alternate cover.
Gotcha.
I could be wrong though.
Oh, looky here. Time for action. 300 327 USD or 450 Canadian. Uh an
Actually,
actual action figure.
that's gone down really. When I started the campaign, that was 359 or 349 US.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, wow. Major difference in the Canadian to American dollars.
Yeah, it is. It's over 100, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just at
Almost.
the 100 mark. Now it's like $125 different.
Yeah. So the price decrease, was that done on your end?
No, because I put it as 450 Canadian.
Okay.
So it does the exchange rate thing.
Oh, all right. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So since the last time you looked at the exchange rate, it was actually 340 something.
Well, yeah, it was like, well, when I started the campaign, I know it was 349. I
Oh,
haven't,
all right. All right.
and I don't even think I've looked at it much since it ended, like almost 2 months ago.
Uh-huh.
You know, at least that far down. I never went that far to look at the tiers. You know,
Gotcha. Well, the fact that you have an action figure is pretty impressive. Um, so let me see here. There's a video. I noticed that you've got what looks like a little video on the at the top of the campaign.
Yeah.
We'll check that out in just a moment. But you get the. It looks like you got the Canadian Shield character with swappable hands,
Hands.
so you can replace the grippy fingers with
Yeah.
fists, closed fists. I like the open hands though. I think that was cool.
And for anybody that wants to see a physical one,
Yeah, let me begin you up. There we are.
there we have. I got the cape aside. I got it at the moment off the side. I need to repaint him. He didn't do it. Unfortunately, he didn't do it with a gloss, so there's been a little wear for me handling him a lot because I've been showing him around a lot,
Yeah, for
friends and all that, So my grubby little oils in my hands,
sure.
which is something. One of the things that somebody actually bought this, and it's one of the things that because I figured needed correcting. I let him know. We talked about it. We even talked about having the cape being able to attach and detach a little. Well, or attach a little differently. He had glued it on before, and again in moving and all that, showing it off. Most people will probably just put this up on a shelf and let it sit.
Right, right.
But for those that want to play with it a little, I figure let's add some revisions so the cape attaches a little differently, you know. So it's if it comes off because of glue, you're gonna have to re-glue it. But if it goes on, like with Velcro or something like that, you know, at least you can just put it back on with the Velcro easy enough. I'm not sure what he suggested offhand. Maybe it was Velcro, maybe it was something else. I forget. And of course, where the shield on his chest is a little small, we've actually got that expanded on the newer version.
Uh-huh.
And like like I said, he's gonna put the gloss coat on, so it won't, the paint won't wear and all that, or a lot.
Yeah, definitely got to have that protective coating.
Yeah. So
Um,
I'm working with the guy for the second one and beyond. So make it. So yeah, this is the prototype, right?
nice, nice.
I still love it, but I'm glad people are gonna, the person that got it is going to get an even better version than me.
Nice.
And of course, that one comes with the book as well, signed. And the figure won't even go through my, as I was telling you off screen, won't even go through my hands. It gets shipped directly to you from the guy that's making it for whoever orders it.
All right. Ships worldwide. Oops.
Yeah,
Cool.
because the guy that's making it is in the Philippines. So.
And then, oh, look at that. Sold out. Name that firefighter. So there's, I was looking at the sold out tier.
Yeah. Basically, what that was, there's a spot in the comic book. I think it's page 6, panel 2, where there's a couple firefighters that you see from the back, and firefighters have their name, their last name usually on the back of their jacket. So if something happens to them, you can recognize figure out who they are. Maybe they're burned beyond recognition, but this way who they are. So I figured, okay, this is showing. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it in the comic because I admit it. I figured name that firefighter for 10 extra bucks beyond the comic. You can get your name on that thing, and there was only 2 spots, so only 2 available.
Yep. They got scooped up pretty fast, it looks like.
Oh, they did get scooped up, but not too fast, actually.
Oh, okay.
I went through like over half the campaign before I think even one was bought.
Oh. So since you you had this kind of interactivity, do you anticipate in future campaigns possibly drawing in people?
I'm not sure whether I'm gonna have anybody drawn in at this point, because I'm thinking that like most of the artwork should be done, if not all done by that next time, and hopefully all colored, because I I, I wouldn't say I'm scrambling or whatever, but I definitely want all the artwork done,
Uh-huh.
because I was been on edge because as I was telling you, the guy that did the artwork for the Canadian Shield
Uh-huh.
#2, he just finished like a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't sure when he was going to finish. And it's like, oh God, he's finished! Thank you, Lord. It means I can dive ahead,
Yeah.
really get in. And like I'm saying, January 23, the beginning of the year next year as a delivery date. And I think because of uh, him getting done, I've really put the foot to the plow, and I'm making sure I'm coloring a lot more, taking a lot more time to color than I have been. I've been lazy about it. But now that I know I have everything that I need to finish both, like I said, I've been really doing it, and I'm probably going to be able to get these people's, hopefully, if everything goes right, get this both books in people's hands for sometime in December. Hopefully, I'll be shipping around the beginning of December. So I'll end up a month early for my delivery date.
Oh, that'll be nice. Yeah, you want to stick to being able to fulfill consistently.
Yeah, I know on the first campaign I was like a couple months late. Again, that was because of the problems with Indiegogo. And
Gotcha.
but with my coloring book with no problems, I ended up a month early on that too.
Nice. Let's check this one out here. So this is actually a video of, I guess you're demonstrating this action figure.
Yeah, it spins around mainly on this one.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
I know this place is where I am. No other place is better than, no matter
Oops. Uh-oh.
where I go, I am proud to be Canadian. I am, I am. I am Canadian.
I am Canadian. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that's not the whole song, but I figured I'd grab the first 32 seconds or so of it.
Why is it not? Oh, all right. Whoa, it took me too far back. I should have just clicked on that. Darn it. I think it's because I just have so many darn tabs open on my browsers. Did the two videos that you had, are they different from this one that we just watched?
The one is the same. The other one is basically I did a small video when I got some it being the second one being made with a couple of the tweaks on it.
Uh-huh.
So it's not much different. It's almost the same.
All right.
Except it's not spinning. The guy is, lifting it up by hand and moving it around, a little.
Did you want to show that one? Did you
I
want to
guess
play that?
yeah, I guess I can.
All right.
So
Let's
Are
see.
you ready?
Yeah. Go ahead and share whenever you're ready. Oh, Oh, I thought you were going to share it in a separate screen. Let me go here.
Okay, I can.
I've got you maximized, so this will work too.
Okay, there we go.
I like that he's pretty stable. He won't fall over easily. Like some action figures, because of the way they're designed, they have a tendency to fall. They're not balanced or anything. This is like one of the more modern styles of action figures, I think, in terms of articulation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice, huh?
nice. Right
No, I'm
on.
not sure whether anybody heard any volume out there.
Oh no, it was silent, but it gave us a chance to, look at.
Yeah. Again, it
articulation.
just had that I am Canadian thing behind it.
And so it has a cape. Does it have any kind of like weapons, or is he like
No,
does he
he
fight
doesn't
with
have
his
any
cane?
weapons. Here's the cape. It's it's cloth based. He
It
asked me
is.
cloth or
That,
plastic based. So the other one's the next. So I'm not sure how well you can.
wow, that's interesting. Almost looks like a kind of rubber.
Yeah, maybe it is. He basically asked whether I want a cloth or material, or I forget what he said, or plastic, and I'm like, yeah, let's go with something, like this. I didn't want something as stiff as you know, the plastic. I thought, making it having it that way to be a bit more flexible would
Yeah,
be
for
good.
sure. So, and those action figures are being made or built on demand, right?
Yeah. Well, I like I said, I got one ordered from the first the Indiegogo campaign, and it was ordered right from the beginning. I didn't get it made right then. I figured I waited till after the campaign was over, and it's like, okay, told the guy one ordered, and like I said, it gets shipped directly to uh, whomever.
Nice.
It, that way it doesn't go through me, doesn't touch my hands. Um, I
Great.
just figured that that's easier. Save on shipping. You know, save
For
on my
sure.
costs. I save on my costs. I save on their costs. That way I don't have to add anything for shipping. I bite the cost of the comic book, whatever it costs to ship the comic book. You know, I'm not making a lot. I don't think. Well, I make it. It depends on how you figure making a lot. But I'm
Mm,
not really making a lot on the action figure. I figure, for the price of it, you know, like most of that is going to the guy that's making it.
mm-hmm. Gotcha. So pretty cool. And were there any other things that we hadn't yet covered on the campaign
Yeah.
that you
Well,
wanted to mention?
there was only one other tier, but I've got it hidden at the moment. It might come back. One Dillard did, like I said, Dillard did the artwork for um Snowdrift, and I had him do the last page traditionally because it's the first where she appears first time in costume, full costume. So I'm supposed to be getting in the mail or a redo of it because apparently he sent it to me once and it got lost in the mail, and because of that he's redid it, and he's supposed to have sent it in the mail to me, but till I get it actually in my person, and I have it, I don't want somebody, buying. Nobody had bought it, so I don't want nobody buying it unless I have it in my hands, if you know what I mean.
Gotcha. Right on. So if anyone hasn't yet backed this, but consider backing it today. It is in demand right now, so be sure and take advantage while it's still live.
Yeah,
And
because after we do take down the in demand, I will be putting stuff up. Well, I'll be putting at least the comic books after everybody gets theirs. I'll be putting it up on my website, but right now it's the best time to get it because right now you'll get the stickers. You won't necessarily get the stickers if especially if you get physical. Um, but if you don't if you get it off my website, you don't get the stickers.
how long do
Well,
you?
or you might get a sticker, but it it'll be a bit smaller.
It'll be a bit smaller.
Yeah, like I've got big stickers, and then I got small stickers.
Oh, all right. Hold on. Let me see. Oh yeah, those are itty bitty ones.
Yeah, I went and ordered these ones first, not realizing how small 1 inch by 1 inch or so was going to be. And I'm like, okay, I can't really give these stickers to my the people that bought. And then I went and bought more stickers, bigger stickers. So maybe you might get a free small sticker. I'm giving these free out now at cons.
Oh, all right. You got
Figure got to do something with them, right?
you got a little tub of mini stickers.
Yeah, because I got like 500 of them.
Whoa. Yeah.
Well, I figured, 500 stickers, that's a good deal. It was like, like $60 or something like that. I thought, that's not too bad of a deal. Not realizing how small they were going to be. These ones cost me I only got 50 of these big ones, and they cost me more than the 500 of the small ones.
Oh yeah, that's kind of wild. Yeah, if you haven't already backed this campaign, it's in demand. If you've already backed it, thank you so very much for your support. But remember, we've always got holidays and special occasions coming up.
Yeah.
Your friends and family are going to want this book. So back it once, back it twice, back it 3 times a lady. And definitely support our good friend Rick Piper of Cross Comics so he can keep making projects. As he mentioned, this campaign, he's introducing Snowdrift, and in the next one, there's going to be a book for Crimson Shield, and Canadian Shield. Sorry, one for Snowdrift, her next issue, and then
the next character is the Flame.
The Flame. Yeah.
And you're going to be able to see in the back of all these, there's going to be an advertisement showing that it covers for all three. Like I've already got, it's not colored, but is it up here? There is the cover for Snowdrift #2. Artwork done by John Dillard.
All right.
I will be. Oh, can people see that? No, they can't. So.
Oh, there it goes. That's better.
Yeah, so I will be, and I'm going to be coloring that after I get Snowdrift done. And I'm gonna,
that's cool. I like that.
So yeah, the cover for the next 3 books will be in like probably on the back, inside back cover, an advertisement showing, watch out for this. I'm hoping for June of next year to be doing the campaign for the next my next campaign for the next 3. You know,
Nice.
hopefully it will be 1 year later exactly for
Oh,
me,
okay.
dude. Because I started this campaign on June 24th of this year, my birthday, and
Happy
I'm hoping to.
birthday.
Yeah, thanks. I'm hoping to do the same next year.
Nice.
And I want to shrink the time between campaigns.
Oh yeah. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. How long do you anticipate being in demand?
Um, into December for sure.
Okay. Right
You
on.
know, like I'll wait till I've shipped everything out, and then I'll probably take it out of demand, and then within a couple days, everything will, well, keychains, everything will probably be up on my thing for sale. I
Okay.
might end up doing, like I said, I'm in the middle of remastering number 1, so I might end up doing a campaign in January for that,
Okay.
just to get a little bit, maybe get a little bit of the printing cost, because I'll probably go for a $500 flexible goal. Hope I'll meet that, but I won't be 100% certain. Since a lot of people have gotten number 1.
You previously released a coloring book
Yeah,
based on your characters. Do you anticipate bringing that back as a tier in future campaigns?
I might. I want. There's a couple drawings in it I've got to replace. Somebody that gave me a couple drawings in it has ghosted me, and I don't want any trouble if I go reprinting it.
Oh, okay. All right. All
I,
righty. It was
you
just
know,
curious.
I don't think the person would, but just I want to be safe. Cover my
Oh,
butt.
makes sense. I had one other question about Canadian Shield here. It was on one of these covers. Well, it's showing in the feature. It's showing in the thumbnail for the. So you have the letters C and the letter N in Canadian, and the letters S and the letters D all in red. Is that to mirror the Canadian flag, red, white, red?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Because I wanted to, I wasn't sure
yeah.
if I
I
wasn't
know
sure.
lots of people say. Go
I
ahead.
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if the white lettering in the middle, Anadia Heil, meant anything.
Yeah, I've actually looked it up because many people. Well, I shouldn't say a few people, maybe many. I don't know. Have brought that up, and you look it up. You look it up in English or whatever languages, doesn't mean anything. In fact, if you put that an idea hail in like a Google search engine, it comes up Canadian Shield.
That's cool. I like it.
I didn't plan it. In fact,
Uh
the person that found out was Vic King.
huh.
He did it because he was one of the ones making a little bit something of it. Um, I'm not, because people have said something of it. I've thought of changing it. Like if you go up, I think to the where you show the cover in the the middle section, you'll see that I actually did it different,
You mean
or
like
even right
this?
there. Yeah, yeah. Or if you go down a bit for the cover for the Canadian Shield, where it shows it, you can see it a bit bigger. Oh,
Oh, wait, hold on.
right there.
It's all right. It kind of it makes me think of
Yeah,
peppermint candy, or those barber poles.
yeah.
Um,
I'm not even super satisfied with it, but a couple other people had done a couple other versions, but I wasn't really satisfied with them.
I don't know if
Uh,
you. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Let's go back to the other one. I don't know if you'd already explored this, but what if you stick kind of with this theme, but you you leave all three letters of the in white um, with black outline, and then let's see, maybe make the A's on either end of Anadia, make them red, and
yeah,
then instead of being a hard contrast between red and white, you do a gradation from the left to the right, and then from the right to the left. So it goes um, red transitions into white, and then white transitions into red.
yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, that definite possibility.
So I mean, if there's
Uh,
some way I
yeah,
could pull it off,
yeah,
or
yeah,
maybe I'll just do
yeah, yeah,
a hand drawing and send it to you.
yeah. Well, I get what you're saying, for sure. What I
Yeah.
had used, I'm not sure whether you realize what I had used under there. I grabbed a Canadian flag that was, it's literally a Canadian flag that's underneath in the letters and on the shield in in the back.
Is it really? In the C, the S, the N, and the D.
Yeah.
Oh,
Plus the shield itself.
okay. All right. I think I see it.
Yeah, I know it's a
Hmm.
bit hard to see it, but I get your idea and I like it. It's something that maybe I might be able to live with too. The
Well,
gradient.
I'll try and make some time and
Yeah.
like draw it out. I'm not good in digital drawing right now, so
Yeah.
I might just do it traditional and just take a picture of it and send it to you, just to uh,
Yeah.
give you a better idea what I'm trying to describe. That I might not be doing a
Well,
very hot job at describing.
I think you're
Yeah.
doing a good job. Like you're basically saying, we'll keep the center white. Here, let's see. Yeah, I can bring up a blank canvas. No, you're basically saying, let's see, a gradient. Uh,
Yeah, making use of gradients. Yeah. There was this cool tool that um, I used I used to have that did gradients on lettering. Made all this fancy lettering. What was it called though? I don't know, but we were using it like in the '80s, the '80s and '90s.
Something like that is what you're saying,
Kinda.
except instead of that red thing in the middle,
Right.
it'd be all white and red
Yeah.
around the edges.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. That's the general idea. All right. Uh, was there anything else that we hadn't yet covered that you wanted to highlight?
Not that I can think of off of hand.
All righty. I am going to give you the floor. Would you share with the world how you can be found on social media?
Okay. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter under Cross Comics, Instagram Cross Comics, of course here on YouTube where um I'm going to be trying to do weekly shows Tuesday nights, just a chill stream. Anybody's welcome to come on, or pretty much anybody. Just don't be an idiot while you're on, or not too much of an idiot. We can have good fun. Good fun, idiot, just not idiot. I think people hopefully get what I mean. And it's coming on. You just come on through Discord, and we sit, we talk, have fun. I might do a little bit of a drawing, but nothing specific. It's just like I said, a chill stream, relax and do whatever, you know. And yeah, go back to Canadian Shield on Indiegogo or Kickstarter.
Hey, even though I don't promote campaigns that are on Kickstarter, I don't throw shade on anyone who uses Kickstarter as another avenue of revenue. I'm like, go get your money, man.
I'm trying to fund it. I did, like I said, I did it once on Kickstarter. Well, I did it twice. I did my first campaign after did on Indiegogo. I did on Kickstarter. It didn't fund. Oh well, it happens. Again, I'm on Kickstarter again, and it's almost funded. I'm like $191 away from hitting the $500 goal.
Nice.
So I'd like to fund over there just to be able to fund. I think if I go on there again and do it, it will help.
Yeah.
Being funded once. It's just for me. It's about building a brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you got, and there's people on Kickstarter that aren't on Indiegogo.
Yep.
And vice versa. So, I do both just because I want more people to know about Cross Comics and get my stuff and hopefully make me money.
I mean, that's definitely a viable argument for being on both platforms, because though there is some overlap of customers, there are a number of people on Kickstarter and a number of people on Indiegogo that never cross paths, and they never use the other platform. They're exclusive to that one platform because that's what they know.
Yeah.
So
and because of stuff, political or whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, if one of the things I appreciate and respect about you is your consistency, that you fulfill your campaigns, and that you literally are building this universe of characters, and you want to get your stories out. So by building your brand, you're becoming more well known, and you're building your audience, and that's the way to go. That's the way to go. You can find me on Twitter at WyzGyz Tweets, on Twitch at WyzGyzEntertainment, all one word, on YouTube at WyzGyzEntertainment, 2 words. WyzGyz is 1 word. That's the easiest way to find me. Look for the logo with the W and the hummingbird. And then I'm on Rumble now, WyzGyzEntertainment, and I'm going to create accounts on a couple other platforms too. But if you check out my social media, you should also come across my FlowPage. In fact, I think it's in the description of every one of my streams as well. My FlowPage has all my social media, so check it out. I want to thank everyone in chat for joining us today. You guys are awesome. Thanks to everyone who watches this on replay. And thanks most especially to our special guest, Greg Piper of Cross Comics. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you on the next stream or video. Bye.
Bye-bye.